This is a Renew original recording. Hello and welcome to Believe in People Extra, the companion mini-series to our award-winning podcast about all things addiction, recovery and stigma. I'm Robbie Lawson, the show's producer, and each week I'll bring you highlights, exclusive recordings, extended cuts and powerful moments from our archive. This series brings together the most impactful conversations and recovery-focused insights condensed into short episodes to support and inspire those on their journey. In today's episode, Matt speaks with Bea about living with Tourette's following recent headlines that have sparked debate and misunderstanding about the condition. Bea challenges the idea that Tourette's is just a swearing disease, explaining what tics and intrusive urges actually are, including the emotional impact of saying things like racial slurs and inappropriate comments. The conversation also examines stigma, media portrayal, bullying, and the difference between laughing with someone and laughing at them. Bea offers practical guidance on how communities can better support people living with Tourette's and why education is the key to dismantling misunderstanding.
Everyone thinks about Tourette's as a swearing disease, and it's not. Only 1 in 10 of us have coprolalia.
Yeah.
Coprolalia is not actually about swearing. It's the use of inappropriate language that we can't control. I am that 1 in 10, but 9 out of 10 is motor tics and verbal. Verbal not being vocal, not being a word, but a squeak or a click or a sniff. But the physical side of Tourette's can be disabling and crippling. When your shoulder's shrugging non-stop and you can't stop it for days on end and it ends up bruising and muscle tension and pulled tendons. When you can't sit still for an MRI scan and they can't do anything about it. There's when you're eating and you can't stop shaking or stabbing with your knife. There's so many things Tourette's affects that it changes. So many things we have to think about. Going to a steakhouse, we have to think about having a butter knife and not a steak knife at first because I get too stabby with them. Tourette's is a minefield that people don't understand. For me, it's laugh with me, just don't laugh at me is the thing.
Because when we met at the Hull Champions meeting at the beginning of the year, and I think what they was talking about baby swimming lessons.
Yes.
And one of your tics was about drowning the baby.
Yeah, drown the baby.
Now, I know you're not thinking about drowning the baby.
No.
Of course not. And you had to apologise for that one. And like everybody sort of laughed at first, and afterwards, I don't think people was laughing. And it wasn't because it wasn't funny, but it was just obviously you can see that it was even you saying that was even uncomfortable for you to say as well. And I think everybody realised that pretty quickly. But it was funny towards the end of the meeting when you called the chair a pedo. Do you know that one I laughed at. So that was, I guess, not. Again, you're the first person with Tourette's I've ever met. So in terms of my question, I was often thinking when you have these tics, are you thinking these things? Like when the producers left the room and you told them to fuck off.
Yeah, no.
Was you actually thinking fuck off?
No, absolutely not.
So kind of tell me a little bit about that then.
Tics come, for me personally, we all get a slightly different build-up or a different urge. It can vary through the community. For me, if I try and hold a tic in, it's like electric running through my body, my muscles tense, and suppression is really difficult. But tics are triggered, and they're relatable. But the way I describe it is, if someone was born completely blind, explain the colour blue to them. You can't do it. And so to explain the urge and how it happens to someone that hasn't experienced it is really difficult. But what I like to say is we've all had intrusive thoughts. It doesn't matter who you are. You've walked down the street and at some point you've judged. You might not ever say it out loud, but you might be looking something or someone and have a thought, but you would never say it. We all have a different part of our brain that we can't control. We breathe every day without thinking about it. Our brain controls that breathing. Our brain controls us blinking. We don't think about it. We just do it. There's so much we don't think about. And the brain is a powerful thing, a really powerful thing. So for those intrusive thoughts to sort of bypass the signals, if you like, and come straight out of your mouth, as much as a natural thing occurs, like a scream, if something happens to you, say you trap your finger in the door of the car, we can't suppress going ouch or whatever happens.
Of course,
It's as natural as that. You don't think about it, it just happens. It's literally like that. It's not necessarily a thought process. Occasionally it can be anxiety driven. Anxiety makes tics worse. Tiredness makes... There's so many environmental factors that impact Tourette's. But it's also relatability. Anyone that looks like a social worker to me normally gets the pedo tic. The baby things, I'm glad people laughed because it took the edge off it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but halfway through that meeting as well, I punched my cup and it ended up in the middle of the room.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah.
I get really punchy with things and touchy. If it's there, my tics see it,
Yeah.
But the urge is almost instantaneous. It's sort of urge, tic, gone. It's really quite quick. There's not much of a warning. Half the time I don't realise what I'm saying until it's already coming out my mouth.
Yeah.
But we need to get rid of the stigma, and a lot of the media hasn't helped. There's been some phenomenal documentaries from people like our Johnny Davison. John did John's Not Mad, and that was in the late 80s, early 90s. That was the first ever documentary on TV about Tourette's ever been seen. And he followed it up with I Swear I Can't Help It, and he's done a few others, and they were fantastic educational documentaries that were brilliant. But then more recently, there's been other documentaries that have been really damaging to our community because the producers have edited it in such a way to be shock value. That's not what we want. We're not about entertainment. We're about awareness.
Yeah. So in terms of like racial or ethnic slurs, or in the company of like, I suppose the very people that would be offended by such words.
I see someone BAME, and I say 90% of the time a racial tic will come out, and I hate it because I was in foster care with black twins. We were fostered at the same time. I saw them as my brother and sister. I didn't see a difference in skin colour. We were just humans. And so to get racial tics brutalises me. Yeah, they're really difficult to deal with mentally for myself, let alone anybody that's on the receiving end of one, right? I never mean it.
Of course, yeah, and I think this is in terms of the awareness. If people
can I stroke your beard
if you want to, can do. Yeah, by all means, yeah, you can do. But yeah, I can imagine. Do you know when you said sometimes you can go home and you can cry about what you've said as part of these tics? I imagine the sort of racial slurs and things like that. They must be the harder ones, because obviously you don't want to make anyone feel that way. Of course not.
Yeah, it's horrible. It really is really horrible.
I suppose what can people do to be more supportive and understanding of individuals with Tourette's then?
So the first thing is understand that it's a brutal condition, that it's not something there to... We need to get rid of the locker room jokes.
Yeah.
It's not something that anyone would ever choose, because it's a condition that's disabling, it's tiring. My squeak really takes it out my throat. 2, 3, 4 throat infections a year just from my squeak, because the sorer my throat gets, the more the tick will pick on it and keep happening. But yeah, be understanding. Don't judge us. Don't laugh at us. Laugh with us, but don't. If someone's there and they're quite obviously struggling because of neck jerking or twitching or whatever, that's not something to stand and laugh at.
No,
that's someone in distress.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But people do pick on that.
Yeah.
Particularly people in school and college and whatever. People get bullied for Tourette's. And we need to get rid of that. We need to gain understanding and get rid of it. If you're an employer or a business, approach whatever charity is local to you. So for Hull and Yorkshire, it's TIC, which I volunteer for. Yeah. TIC Yorkshire is our domain. And then nationally, there's Tourette's Action. In Scotland, there's Tourette's Scotland. In Manchester, Tourette's Manchester. There's organisations all over. Call us up, email us, book us in for training, learn about our community, learn about our condition, learn about what you can do. Because it doesn't cost you anything but maybe an hour of your time.
Of course, yeah.
But to us as a community, we appreciate it so much.
And if you've enjoyed this episode of Believing People Extra, we'd love for you to share with others who might find it meaningful. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and leaving a review will help us reach more people and continue challenging stigma around addiction and recovery. For additional resources and to listen to this episode in full, explore the links in this episode description. And to learn more about our mission and hear more incredible stories, you can visit us directly at believingpeoplepodcast.com.